What's happening, guys? Welcome back to episode 25 and the conclusion of our walkthrough for Liza P. So with last episode, we have got you guys your first ending by giving Geppetto your heart. So all we have to do to cover the others is to make the opposite choice. Now, we do need to talk about this because for one ending, there's two more to get. For one, you need full humanity, meaning you made every single choice you could throughout the entirety of your playthrough to boost your humanity as much as possible, right? Listening to records helps, but just when to give a friendly life, that's humanity. When to tell the truth at times can build humanity. The big choices, telling giving Sophia peace, things of this nature, everything that we did, right? This is our full humanity playthrough, so that is what we have done. Now there's one more ending, but you want humanity but not too much, so what you would do is never make a humanity choice, never. And then just with the big choices within the story, like once again, choices with Sophia, right? Giving her peace. You would only make those big choices while not making every little choice for humanity. Don't listen to records. And then you will be able to do the same thing we're doing now and get that ending as well. So one is the recipe, the other is the one we're getting. Now, with that being said, if you don't have enough humanity, you will not even get the choice to refuse Geppetto. So that is how you know. Either way, this episode we're going to be taking out the nameless puppet and then getting you guys your other endings. Now, with that being said, there's one thing to go over. I did not realize my memory was full on my PlayStation, so I recorded this episode and it was deleted automatically. It's not going to change anything. You guys already seen last episode what to do. We just refused Geppetto. We have the boss rematch, so I can still go over a guide for the nameless puppet. But you're not going to see the cutscenes. Once again, not a big deal. Now, when I realized that this happened, I went ahead and did a New Game Plus run so I can cover where the rest of your records are and how to get the rest of your platinum. So at least I could take advantage of this. Because we were going to do a New Game Plus run. I started recording those episodes too. And I realized it was just incredibly boring. We're just doing the same thing again, right? So what I'm going to do is just take you to the items that you'd be missing because you have to do New Game Plus. That way we can complete the platinum. So we'll be able to do all that this episode. So first things first, let's stick with what we were. So what we're going to be doing is jumping on over. For you guys, obviously, you backed up your save. You're right in front. Oh, don't want to show off the DLC stuff, but you should be right in front of the boss door still. If you reload back into your save. So I'm just gonna do boss rematch. So like I said, once you have backed up your save, you get right back to the point. So you guys would just walk in, refuse Geppetto, then get into this fight. So talk about the fight. Two-phase boss fight, health bar for each phase. He's going to be using a sword similar to ours, a little bit smaller, but does build up critical. So if that goes off, it's going to do massive damage. For this fight, the main thing you want to do is wait for him to attack, deflect, then get it in damage when you can. If you try to attack him, you're going to get caught. So a counter play style would do best here. Now in phase one, it's not too bad. He's not doing that much, but he's very active. He does a lot of it, and he's just always going and going. So he has this huge shoulder check with a really wide swipe. So watch out for the timing. It's really hard to see his sword swing because of the angle of him. He also has a 3-hit combo where he does a really big swipe, slight delay, then he'll come around with a double slash. He has a very quick 6 or 7 hit combo ending with a fury attack. You can also do a fury attack after the double slash, so watch out for that. He has thrust attacks. And that's really it in phase one. Honestly, like I said, just a lot of it, just weaving it together. Now, phase two, he could actually take his sword apart and create two. So, phase two, he's going to buff up with fire. If he does a thrust attack, he's got a delayed explosion. He can kind of put fire all over the ground at points. He likes to jump up for a whirlwind ability, which got blade in each hand, just spinning. You can deflect it. Sometimes it might be better just to try to run to the side and get behind him. Aside from that, he just has one jump, really big swipe where his sword will extend like 12 foot with fire, so obviously you want to watch out for that. But that is really it, just more of the same. And then he has a cross slash where he zooms across and just, does a cross slash at you. It's kind of glowing gold, but it's still very much a fury attack. So obviously he is a puppet, so electric's still going to be the best. Now, elementals are rare in this game because your other elementals still do good. In fact, acid and fire do damage over time, while lightning is just, damage boost. So they're all actually pretty effective. So if you notice, I'm just attacking after I counter. So one, you see what I'm saying? So one big slash to delay, double slash to follow. Now when you have your openings, you best take advantage of them, guys. And also, we'll say that the deflect timing feels really odd with this fight. Really, really, really odd. Meaning, it's always been, the shoulder check. It's always been last second, but for whatever reason here, it almost feels like it's a second early. Also, bear in mind, I'm a New Game Plus, and I bumped up level 2 on boss rematch. That's harder than the typical fight would be. The typical fight would be level 1. But, you know, because of New Game's plus scaling, he's got a little bit more health, does a little bit more damage. So if you see as much damage as I'm doing, you're going to be doing more, you know, because you're still in New Game. So big slash. Puppet string's okay if you don't get caught and just move out of the way. Yeah, grab attack. I thought we were under him, but it's alright, we won't call it unfair. You know, we won't call it unfair. Come on, big boy. It's really hard to read him at times. Try to find some things. Find those openings. They're there. Back it up. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes. Oh, come on, buddy. Sometimes you can obviously stagger him back like that. There's an explosion. Big, big, beefy hits. Like I said. That's what I'm talking about. And that's it. You know? Right? Oh, no, that's it. There you go. Like I said, New Game Plus scaling and everything else, but I still beat him, you know, the same way to get New Game Plus, and we did do the walk through the hardest difficulty, because that's the, you know, the way the game came. I feel like that was the intended way. Either way, with that, you guys will obviously get your cutscene. Like I said, for your next playthrough, just don't make all the little choices with minor NPCs to build up humanity and listen to records. No, just the big choices. That way you don't go over level 4 in humanity. There's guides for this, but it's really that simple. Just follow that, and, you know, you're not going to mess it up. Play it. You can actually play it safe too, like make no humanity choices and get to the very end. And if you see Geppetto doesn't offer you with that choice, then just go listen to records and bump up humanity until you have enough. You know, that's one way to do it as well. So there's always a fix, right? You just got to find it. So that's the only anything you have to get. It's going to be still telling Geppetto no, it's still the nameless puppet, but you just don't have as much humanity. And I mean, it's kind of weird. They could have just kept it at 2 endings, you know, making it so confusing. So the pretty much thing is, like, if you're mainly a puppet, you haven't gained any humanity, you don't get the choice, right? If you have full humanity, you get this ending. If you have slight humanity, you get the other. But they could have just done full puppet, no choice, full humanity, choice. I mean, you know, keep it simple. Why the added extra? All right, so guys, at this point, you're missing a few trophies. There was one weapon we missed. It was in my notes, but it was an episode where we had a lot going on, and we missed that. So there's one basic weapon keeping you from that trophy. I'm gonna take you right to it. Special weapons. 2 full playthroughs, all rings, all boss weapons. Then you need the golden live weapon from getting all of your records. So 2 full playthroughs, can't help it. Aside from that, Vanini. We missed one crucial step with Vanini. So right before Laxasia, and I knew we were coming to New Game Plus, so, you know, I figured we fix it then. It was at the very end. Once again, a lot going on. But when it came to Vanini's quest, right when you get to Laxasia, before you fight her, you're supposed to come back over his dialogue. You'd get a toy, which is a quest item, and then that would wrap up his quest and get that trophy. So you guys are going to just have to make sure you do that. So what we're going to be doing next is jumping on over, getting you your weapon, showing you the other way to do Aladoro's quest. Because as far as records, to talk about that for a second, we found 11. This is the most as you get in single playthrough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 5 golden records. You're going to notice I have 4. So this one is a little bit farther in New Game Plus than I'm at, like by 1 chapter. I'll get it eventually. I'm going to tell you guys how to get it. That's all that matters. All these come from merchants. In fact, this one comes from merchant too. If you remember, we only did this 2 episodes ago when we met Test Subject 826 over in Rosa Isabel Street when he was on the bridge. You just go to that same spot and buy that record. That's it, guys. That's it. And that'll be your, you know, your 5 gold records from New Game Plus. But you also got to remember there is Aladora where you had to do his quest 2 different ways to get 2 different. So we're going to be covering all this stuff. So first things first, what we're going to want to do is jump on over and get you your all weapon achievement. So to do that, we're going to jump over to the library, then backtrack. Like I said, if we ever miss anything in walkthrough, it's always going to get covered, whether it's verbally, right, or something we show off. So this case, for this walkthrough, anything that we missed, we kind of do both. I'm telling you how to do it, but we're showing you too. All besides Vanini, because I can't show that, but it's not going to matter. Like I said, you have to do New Game Plus anyways. Just make sure anytime you do a chapter, you know, anytime you do an area, just go through this dialogue, go through this dialogue. There's an option to talk, make sure you take it, go through this dialogue, go through this dialogue, and then make sure that you have caught everything up before the last stage of fight. And that is it. That's that trophy. It's all weapon achievement. The only one you're missing is your other endings and all your special weapons. And that is it, guys. So that's going to cover everything, because your special weapons, you know, another playthrough, turn your boss items, get everything. Like, at this point, I have pretty much all of them, besides the golden light, I believe. So there's 28. So regular weapons. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27. Or is there 29? I thought there was 28. Hold on. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27. So there's 29. I apologize. And I just did see this trophy pop, so I know for a fact that's what it is. But the one we missed, I'm going to show you where it's at, is right... Oh, you know why there's 29? Because when I was doing New Game Plus, I picked that up. I was like, I know for a fact it's fucking 28. Dude. Right here. Blind Man's Double Spiked Spear Blade. This is one I'm taking to right now. This is the only one that was missed during the walkthrough. Now, like I said, special weapons, it just takes 2 playthroughs. You know, that's how it is. So if you were to backtrack from the library, heading back down, you see this wheel right here? Well, we were supposed to just simply write it up. Then when you get on the other side, important part is make sure you look to your right, roll, chest, right? So that gets you your weapon achievement from this point. So now the only thing left to do, we covered Vanini, trophies. The only thing, because you guys know about Vanini now, right? You know about the special weapons, the platinum itself. You know about the other ending. The only thing you should be missing is the records. And of course, doing Aladora's quest the other way. So we're gonna start by getting you guys all your records. Like I said, we'll be missing one, but I'm gonna tell you where to get it. It's just something we'll do in our own time, because I'm not this far in New Game Plus. And even everything I show you guys right now, it's gonna take you hours to, you know, actually go through and do this, right? So do bear that in mind. But if you notice, I made it all the way to chapter 10. I'm right before the end, but I still would have had to push through like 2 more hours with the last chapter shoots. You guys know that. So Relic of Trismegistus. Yeah, I'd have to push that last chapter all the way back to test subject 826. I mean, it was only like 3 episodes ago, guys, when we started his quest and we went and talked to him at Rosa Isabel Street, and he was on that bridge. And we had to buy the weapon that we needed for a trophy. And I told you guys, hey, make sure you come back in New Game Plus. He has a record. That's it, you know. That's the only item we'll be missing for your platinum, aside from your boss weapons. Oh, someone went the wrong way. Yeah, aside from your boss weapons and the golden lie, which you get after all records, that's all we're missing. I always feel like anytime I come here, I always take the wrong door. So last time when it came to Aladoro, if you guys remember, what happened was we told the truth. We exposed him to Eugenie. And this time we're going to choose a dialogue option saying pretty much that he was just a talented stalker. Talk about her brother.
Oh, you're here looking for... There should be another. There should be something.
So it's going to play out the same way. If you guys have anything you want to get, which I'm pretty sure I've already gotten everything. Yeah, we already got everything. So we're good. Plus we have Hugo, which you guys know. So make sure you go through all this dialogue, just like before.
I know that limit, sir. Leave quiet. Got to be.
So Outdoor Cryptic Vessel, Rose of Flower, Wolf Part 1, which we already had this one. You get that guaranteed. Nini's, then we'll simply jump back to Hotel Cry. It's loose end, guys. You know, it's a little tedious, I know. It's loose ends. And because of where I am in the game, we can't actually fast travel to the first location to get the first gold record. It's right before the parade. Chapter 1. So just to cover that real quick, get out of the way. That's the one place we can't jump to. If you're going over to Chapter 1, it's the last checkpoint right here. How do you say it? Sir Sandy Alley. So right before the Puppet Master. Like, if you just fast over here, look to the left, there's a merchant by the record. You know what I mean? So that should help you guys with that one when we get to that point. So you can, if you don't read this, I think it gives you a second opportunity to get the one we've already got. The record we already got. So make sure you read it, but we're just going to lie to her. There's always 3 options. There's usually a hidden option, and it's just another path to get one of the things you've already had. So, he was just a talented stalker. Okay. Let me look at something real quick, guys. So it's definitely the right choice. Oh, no, no, no. They changed that. They changed that. They changed that. Yeah, because of the way we did the quest. When you seen Alador, we killed him. That was the other record. We automatically got it for killing him. That didn't used to be. Used to come here to make a choice. I guess that was a way to ensure that you got all records in a single playthrough. There's 16, you get 11, and then we had 5 in New Game Plus. That's right. We already had it. We already had it. So, a little overkill. I mean, that's the way it was when I took my notes. So, yeah, they updated so you can get both the records in a single playthrough. I did forget that part. My bad. I did have it in my notes, but some stuff like that, if I know by heart, I'll usually just go by memory, if I'm being honest. So either way, going over your 5 records, like I said, Sorsini Alley, fast travel, look to the left, you're going to have your merchant. From there, House on Elysian Boulevard. You guys know that merchant is, y'all know where he is. That's your next merchant. Aside from that, you are going to have where are you? Lorenzini Arcade, that guy that's on your shortcut. I guess we can go and just jump there. If you guys remember, so the first one's for Sandy Alley, House on Elysian Boulevard. The third one's in the arcade itself. There's a merchant here that is over by the fountain. Once you got your shortcut, pretty much the second door you unlocked. We'll take you to it real quick. But the New Game Plus, at least, he's going to actually have this record for you. Spawn is not that way. Not that way. Where's the way you originally came in? Right here? No, that's not. There's so many fucking shortcuts here. Bear with me, guys. We'll find it. There's a lot. That means it's the other way. Yep, right here. We should head north, south, east, west. But you'll know it. Because like right by the thing. Either way, this merchant right here, this will be your third one. So House of Elysian Boulevard, right before the Prey Puppet. Then you go over here. This guy's got one. And then the last one is actually in chapter 10. So to cover that, it was where all that disruption was. You guys might remember. I mean, it's very last chapter, or chapter 9, I do believe. It's when you're going through the first area of the game again. The fuck's it called? I'll show you. We're just gonna hop there. So right by where you show that merchant the frozen feast weapon. If you guys go over here, Collapse Street. I guess we'll just jump to all of them, show you. We could have verbally showed it, but that guy, I mean, the spot he's in is, it's a little confusing. Then even this spot had 2 merchants. You had the one you showed the frozen feast to that just kind of pops up. Then you had the guy in the house. Oh shit, I jumped too far. It's the one before this. Abandoned apartment. Do forgive me. Alright, so from here, you're going to go upstairs. Right here on the left. It's like 10,000 too. And right here. So, only one you're missing after this is test subject 826. If you followed along, you know exactly where that is. If not, go back a couple episodes. Best I can tell you. Because it's where we got this bad boy. The Carcass Crystal Axe Blade, you guys recall. When we talked to test subject 826 at the Ark Abbey. And then you just go to the bridge right above. Is it Rosabella? I always say it wrong. But this one was back. Yep. Rosa. See, I always say it wrong. Rosa Isabel Street. Yes, we run through real quick. This will be your last location besides 826. Like I said, a little tedious. We'll get you there. Now, as far as getting your other ending, you're on your own, right? Getting all your special weapons, straightforward. You guys are on your own, but we have covered everything that there is to cover. So once we have this, so you have Vanini. You should only have Vanini, your special weapons, not including everything we've shown. But we've already talked about how to do Vanini, and you know how to get your special weapons. So that, after this does conclude the platinum, guys, and we'll be ready to push you guys on over to the DLC. Now, I do have a recommended build for the DLC, but I'm gonna do that with the opening episode. Just make some good recommendations. So if you go over here, run through your shortcut, you see the guy with the fire to the right. You go straight up the stairs, make a right. This bridge right here. So we talked to test subject H26 a few episodes back. He's gonna have the gold record for you. You're done with your platinum. So there we go. At this point, everything has been covered. So we're gonna jump back to Hotel Stargazer because of the episode that got deleted. We didn't get to show you the boss weapons for the nameless puppet. Now this is something to write home about, you might say, because of the fact that it does have critical on it. It's really, 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 really good. Really good. It's actually, I maxed it out, and that's what I've been using, but I didn't want to use weapons we didn't have access to yet, so that never got shown off, but it's right here. Alright, it says Proof of Humanity. So this thing has critical rate of 30, and what I really love about it, too, is it's actually a true quality weapon. So instead of be like B, motivity, C, technique, it's BB, guys, it's BB. So, as you see, B, motivity, B, technique, physical, 231 plus 185. You're not going to get crazy damage in this game. It's a fast weapon that's coming out. So every one of those flashes you see that's critical, you're getting like double damage. Charge heavy, pulls like apart, you get two, and you're stacking up. Critical rate, you're stacking up big posture damage, big beefy damage. You have the handle art, which pretty much sharpens the blade so you can get more critical build-up, which is really cool. And that does make my skin crawl. Metal on metal, man. I can't handle it. The full combo 5200, just absolutely absurd. Look at that, just stacking up big damage because all the critical. And then the blade art is special. Look at that. So now you get the whirlwind ability. So it's absolutely phenomenal, guys. Absolutely phenomenal. Either way, with that, we have completed the walkthrough. So you guys got your special weapons, as mentioned. You have your other endings, and that is it. Vanini's quest. That is it. You got all records and everything else that you're going to need. So before we do close out the walkthrough, if you guys have any questions, put them down below. I try to be as thorough as I possibly can. However, any questions at all, I got your back. That's what we're here for. Then aside from that, there was one other thing I wanted to mention about. Was it about the build? About New Game Plus? It wasn't anything really related to the walkthrough. It was just something to help you guys out. For the life of me, I cannot actually. Oh yeah, DLC prep. That's what it was. So the fact of the matter is the other reason we wanted to suggest New Game Plus and to do that before the DLC is to get ready for it. So doing 2 playthroughs, I've upgraded a few weapons. It takes 3 of these per weapon. So right at the start of the DLC, we get, well, I haven't done the last chapter. By the time you do the last chapter to finish up your platinum, you're going to have like 8 of them. But regardless, right at the start of the DLC, we pick up 1. So that's enough for 2 boss weapons right there. There's only 3 special weapons in the DLC, period. So you could fully upgrade 2 of those. Maybe even all 3. I don't have the notes for the DLC in front of me. I'm pretty sure if you at least have 5, you'll have enough for all of that going into the DLC. 10 Legion calipers. That is pretty much enough for both the Legion arms we're going to be picking up, unless you want something else. Now, my quartz is not here. I've already gotten a lot of upgrades into my quartz. But upgrade materials: Hidden Moonstone, 27, 44 Crescent, 26 half moons, and 7 full moons. That is 7 regular weapons we can max out. 22 Dark Moon Moonstone, the Covenants. Plenty of crank arms for scaling. You don't use Legion plugs in DLC. It's not going to be that easy. You don't just get to hop over and craft Legion arms. It's going to be a different thing. So that's useless. But still, 50 gold coin fruit for quest objectives and respecking as you see fit. Plenty of boosters to help with gold coin fruit. Plenty of star fragments getting into your bosses. Every grindstone that you can get in the game. Obviously, we have the Stars Chrysalis. That way, we can enter the DLC. Picked up some witchstones. We have every single weapon that's in the game. The only actually, I'm not missing any because we got all the boss weapons besides the umbrella in our first playthrough. now going through, I got all the rings. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 10. So we are looking absolutely beautiful. And that's what it is, guys. Just getting that prep guide. Now remember too, if you're trying to really stock up for the DLC, you can come right over here to this gentleman. You buy a bunch of your Fable Catalyst, Legion magazines. You have your cleansing for special and for regular, resistance buff for special and regular, repair kits. They're limited, but they're there. Infinite amount of your buffs, infinite amounts of regular upgrades besides your max out. These are always going to be limited, but we have plenty from both runs, right? I still have, of course, I can pick up Legion calipers. That put me up to 12. I might get those like towards the start of the DLC, but yeah, I mean, we're just fully set up as best as we can be. At this time, I'm missing one record for my platinum, which is right there. As soon as I pick that up, for me, I get that platinum. I've already got all endings and everything else we've covered. So you guys should have 11 regular, 5 golden. So 826, that's your man. Now these under Proposal Flower Wolf Part 1, you're gonna see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So this is going to be for the DLC. Everything under here is for the DLC. So we're going to show you guys how to get those. Now I'm not going to run through the DLC twice. So with that being said, you're gonna have to do the DLC twice if you want all the records. The DLC has its own trophies as well, so we'll pretty much get you guys all of that in a single playthrough. Besides, the records you may be missing, but that is it. You'll be able to get all boss weapons. You'll be able to get all special weapons. You'll be able to get all your quests done. You'll be able to get all your outfits, which are some really cool ones. We'll cover all bosses, all secrets, everything. Just like we did here. Very, very thorough, and do everything we can do in a single playthrough. But for me to do the DLC twice, I'd have to do a whole another playthrough of the game. We're looking at 3 playthroughs at that point. It's we'll verbally cover it from there. Regardless, we'll get you guys through it and get you everything. I think by the end of the DLC, you're going to be missing like 2 records or something like that. It's not going to be a big deal. It'll be very easy to cover. But either way, guys, with that, we are going to wrap on up. So this will be the conclusion of the base game for Liza P. And I hope you guys have found the series helpful. Hope you guys have enjoyed the game, and we will catch y'all back with our next series.